Hello, people. How delightful that people are here already. That always makes my day. Skitty Nona, yay! Nice to see you. Kathy, Greg, nice to see you. Glam Jolly, what a nice compliment. Thank you so much. Yeah, glad people could be here. I think everybody's. Betsy Tag, nice to see you. A curious-minded seeker, always a pleasure. Grizzly Bear Kelly, hello. Everybody's here. Wonderful. Yeah, so CH, just CH, nice to see you. Blessed Mama 87, welcome in. Glad everybody could make it. It's a pretty beautiful afternoon here on the West Coast. Hi, Kelly Cal, that's nice. Hi, the real Brenda. Oh yay! Yes, I'm enjoying doing the lives. I really enjoy hanging out with you guys. You have filled a big hole in my life, so I'm super delighted to be here, and I'm always happy to see that people enjoy themselves in the chat and enjoy the content and everything. So just to say, I have no particular credentials. I'm an ex-mechanic with an English degree. I was raised by toxic people, and I have had a fair bit of experience with toxic people, so I am quite good at seeing through the nonsense. And I suspect that, because of the way that I was conditioned, hi, Kelly, Texas, nice to see you. I was conditioned to read other people, right? To anticipate other people's needs. So for the first part of my life, for the first very long part of my life, I did that. Yeah, I used to work as a heavy equipment mechanic, Grizzly Bear Kelly, for the city of Vancouver. And I was conditioned to, anticipate other people's needs. And eventually I figured out what was going on. Eventually, and I mean eventually, it did take me a while. And when I did, I was able to kind of turn that skill from anticipating other people's needs so that I could put them ahead of my own, to reading people, and keeping myself safe and recognizing the red flags and, keeping myself safe from those type of people. So, yeah, I mean, it's a curse and a blessing, like much in life. Hi, just another human, inner psychic, Doris Martin. You're a mechanic's daughter. I don't like getting it under my fingernails. I never did either, Kelly. I'm not a fan of grease under my fingernails. But by the time I was mechanicking, it was very common. And in fact, in Canada anyway, the Workers' Compensation Board does not allow you to work on heavy equipment or any kind of mechanical stuff without, nitrile or some kind of gloves, because there's so many toxins in so many of the substances that you are touching, and the gas and the diesel and the axle grease and all the various, you use all kinds of stuff in the course of fixing and maintaining vehicles, right? So my hands were not the problem, and I was really happy about that, because one of the only things I worried about was that I didn't want to have ugly hands. So I was pretty meticulous about wearing the gloves. Anyway, yeah, so CrimeCon is happening. People are having a time of it. I suspect a number of you have already seen the videos. You got married in Vancouver, Grizzly Bear Kelly. Nice. Yeah, it's a beautiful city. It was even more beautiful 21 years ago. Sunday morning, so you must be a down under, Deadly Queens. I'm glad you could make it. I keep losing track. Anyway, yeah, it seems like they're having a time of it over there at CrimeCon. There's a list of people that were on the, security list that included Christina and Lauren and John and Grayson and Trisha and a couple of others who will remain unnamed. Saying if any of these people show up, you need to give them the talk. I'm sure many of you have seen the videos of Christina being given the talk. She was very generous to share those around. And yeah, so I think it's quite the experience for a lot of people this year. I think a lot of people are aware certainly, of what's going on. I know that I haven't had time to watch it, but I know that Gigi has had like a live stream from her. She's got a booth there. So I suspect a lot of people have tuned in. She's just been live streaming kind of all day, right? So a lot of people have tuned in to just see if they can catch a glimpse. Apparently no sightings of Melatonin Megan. Possibly she bored herself into a coma and wasn't able to get there. But Trisha is there, and that brings me to my next picture, which is, this is Trisha's business card. It just has her phone number on it. And the comment that I got when I received this photo is that she's handing this card out to all the little old ladies. So yeah, clearly, and Olaf has just put up another video, just very short, recently, called Trisha's, on the lookout for a new sugar mama. So I think we can all kind of relate to that. Also, to say there has been some action on the docket with the Beth B case. So there was we all know, I believe, that Daphne filed to have Trisha taken off the creditors list so that probate could go ahead, and basically made a claim that she's a mere meddlesome intruder and has no actual, standing to even make a claim. And then yesterday there was posted up just somebody was explaining it to us. One of the lawyers, I think on my last stream, was explaining it to us that in civil litigation, what they often do over there is they make a motion. So one side the plaintiff makes a motion for something, and they're making a motion to have Trisha just stricken off the creditors list. And so what they do is they also post here is the very conveniently pre-written order. All you need to do, judge, is fill in the date and the time and the names. So that has now been posted up. The proposed order from Beth B's, not Beth B's, from Daphne's lawyers, saying, that to strike Trisha off. So I don't know if that's going to happen. Obviously, there are those who are saying that they expect that Trisha is going to give a response, all the rest of it. So, yeah, that's where that is for the moment. But I don't know. I mean, Trisha's pretty ballsy, right? So it's hard for me sometimes to judge, right? Because I think, would I carry on with this if when I was under this much scrutiny? But then I would never have done this in the first place, right? So it's hard for me to put myself in her position. To me, the amount of gall you have to do it in the first place is something that I don't relate to. But what I do know is that these type of people have no bottom, right? So, I'm not sure that Trisha would face any real consequences, right, for this. So kind of in a way, what has she got to lose, right? Unless somebody was going to actually pursue her for like a case of slander, but it's against Daphne or something, or, wasting the court's time or whatever. But those things just never seem to actually happen, right? So, she went through everything with Sue, and she faced all that out, and she ended up getting Helen to pay for it all and carried on brazenly doing the same sort of stuff. So, yeah. So CrimeCon, I think that there's like a lot of drama there. Some people are feeling like it's just gotten silly, like the way now everybody's tattling on everybody. And I guess that Lauren and John, the rumor is that they have been contacting security and making complaints and stuff. So as I say, these people have no shame, right? So every time you think, aha, we've got him, right? Think Trump, right? He just finds a way to wriggle out of it by telling some other lie that you then have to spend all your time and money and energy and everything untangling, right? To try to go, aha, gotcha. At which point he tells another lie and scoots out of the way again. So these are the kind of people that we're dealing with. They have no bottom. They have no shame. I'm very glad for Christina that she got to go this year and that CrimeCon had the decency to comp her tickets. But the fact that they are well aware who was in the wrong in that situation, and they still allowed Lauren to come in, because obviously, it's a business, right? And even though they're going to say that they're all about keeping everybody safe, they're really about their bottom line, because that's what businesses are about. So anyway, I think that her creator peers are fully aware of Lauren's behavior. I think they are. But I also think that even if Lauren eventually gets shunned out of these spaces, she will just find a new space in which to work her grift, She'll just reinvent herself in some other horrific way. There is seldom a real reckoning with these people unless they actually just get stuck in prison, like Sarah. Where they're, Sarah Boone, where she's just free to go on tormenting all the people around her for the rest of her life. Hi, Eta. Nice to see you. Are you leaving? I'm sorry if you have to leave. Hi, John Smith. Look at all you fun people. Blue River 2443. I just couldn't handle, nor do I even care about dealing with unhinged people. Yeah, no, I don't either, right? I don't either, but I do like to expose them for the lying grifters that they are, and make their lives as difficult and uncomfortable as possible. Although I also, I like to keep in mind and to warn people also that they play a better version of one-upmanship than you could ever dream of. So you got to be careful too around these type of folks. So anyway, I thought we would just carry on with the next installment of Trisha's video deposition. So this is the fine one. Hi, Llama Pajama, Hybrid Pisces, everybody. Glad you could all make it. HMS Gen X lady. Trisha's business card is underwhelming. Well, she's got the big print of the phone number. She wants to make sure that the old folks can get in touch with her real quick. So here we go. It's about 55 minutes, and this is the last installment. Hi, Helen Johnson. Nice to see you.
I think we're back on the record. The time is 3:12 p.m. All right, Mr. Griffiths, I'm going to show you exhibit number 26. And this is an email exchange between you and Miss Pruitt, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay. And at the bottom, it's an email dated February 23rd, 2012. And it's from Miss Pruitt. And it says, Trisha, I also covered the overdraft. Do not make another draw on the account until the next ad deposit. Do you see that?
Yes.
The money that is in there is mine and is to be used to cover Skype and overdraft charges. Do you see that?
Yes.
It says there was already a Skype charge pending that had been denied, and they couldn't tell me whether we'd be charged fees for that overdraft too. Do you see that?
Yes.
So it looks like, again, in February of 2012, that Ms. Pruitt was concerned about you overdrafting the account, right?
Yes.
And that was just after the January overdraft, correct?
Was that January 2012?
The Exhibit 25 you can confirm that goes from December 2011.
Oh, okay. Yes. Yes. Correct.
Okay. So this email was just a month after that,
yes.
Right? In your responses at the top, it says it was supposed to be done with the Pub Access Company. What does that mean?
Let me read this here. I'm assuming that means that Pub Access was to have deposited money into the account and didn't. That's the only thing I can think of, that they were a day late or a day or two late.
And then it says Google is a problem. It wouldn't let me change it last time I tried, and Google does not have any way to contact them. What were you referring to in that sentence?
I don't know.
right, Exhibit 27. This is an email from you to Miss Pruitt, correct?
Yes.
And it says, Dear Sue, this is April 2013, correct?
Yes. A year later.
A year later. It says, Dear Sue, you have every right to be mad. I wrongly took your money. Until you told me about your deposit, I can honestly say I forgot about the deposit. What do you refer to there?
The $90 that she put in to cover the overdraft fees the year before.
So you were basically apologizing to her for taking that money.
Yes.
And you say,
So just to notice how much she's touching her face here, right? This conversation seems to make her very uncomfortable. And you're also going to notice that she's going to give this really unqualified, hey, difficult research crush, I'm glad you could make it. The really unqualified response and apology that she's going to give is it's a form of love bombing, right? And it's just literally a tactic to get out of trouble. But to me, it's indicative of the fact that she knows exactly what she did. But later, right, these type of people will often apologize if it's going to get them out of hot water now. But then later, when you say something about it and they're like, and they go back to their old stance and you go, but you apologize for that. They will literally say, I just said that to shut you up or something like that. Like they will admit that they didn't mean it, right? Hey, Suma, nice to see you. Thank you so much for sending over the Boone documents. You guys have got to go see Suma's channel and do her Sarah Boone coverage if you're not already, because she's the best. Not only is Suma just a spectacular human being, she's very much like Suma. You remind me of like an Audrey Hepburn dress or something. You know, something that's just like timelessly classic, but also you know, the way that you present yourself makes it all fresh and new. So just a really fun personality, but also really great insights into Sarah, and a really great way of presenting her content. So yeah, I would highly recommend going over and checking out Suma Cum Loudmouth. Sorry, but yeah, so I think she's going to give a full-throated apology here, but it's literally only to get herself out of trouble. And if you watch while this whole thing is going on, you can see how uncomfortable she is just by the fact that she's touching her face and doing all these self-soothing things so much. Because there is no excuse for this, and her lie is extremely transparent.
at the next paragraph, Sue, I am mortified I did this. All I can say is there were times I literally did not have money for food, and since we never came close to the $3,000 threshold, I took the money out of the account to survive, totally forgetting you put money in there. You see that, right?
Yes.
That's not an excuse. What I did was wrong. I should have remembered. You see that, right?
Yes.
And you say, I'm very, very sorry. I hope you will forgive me, right?
Yes.
Did you put the $90 back into the account?
I can't remember. I don't know.
Is it your belief that as you sit here today that you owe Miss Pruitt $90?
Yes. If I didn't put it back, absolutely.
That's that I'll gladly pay you Tuesday for a hamburger today thing that we were talking about in the last video, where she is extremely agreeable about everything that Sue is entitled to financially from the Web Sluice LLC account. At some point in the future, when all that money is there, she's very happy to say that Sue is entitled to that. But in the moment now, what she's doing is physically stealing Sue's money from out of the account.
Was there a time when you agreed with Miss Pruitt that Web Sluice should not sell ad-free options to the Web Sluice member?
Yes.
And was that because that would essentially, or it could, eat into the revenue for the company, right?
Yes.
Grammy Cheryl says, I don't think Trisha is sorry for anything. And yeah, I mean, like a lot of these people, right? The only thing they're sorry for is getting caught and having to, answer for their behavior, right? She is her presentation throughout this deposition is so revealing in terms of who she pretends to be on Web Sleuths versus, behind the curtain, right? She didn't think any of us were ever going to see this, right? And that she was going to be able to tell the story, excuse me, of Sue Pruitt, right? She didn't think we were ever going to see this. She thought she was going to be able to control that narrative.
Do you remember when you and Miss Pruitt agreed for the first time that Web Sleuths would no longer offer the ad-free option?
I don't remember.
Hand you Exhibit 28.
There's a lot of, I don't remember, I don't know, I can't recall, I can't remember, I'm not sure in this portion of the deposition as well. You will be shocked to know. Thank you so very much, Grizzly Bear Kelly. That was very kind of you. I appreciate that very much.
This is an email exchange again between you and Miss Pruitt, correct?
Yes.
And on the bottom, it says, Miss Pruitt says, I think we need to stop this service and get all references to it out of the main forum. Do you see that?
Yes.
It says we're only hurting ourselves by doing this. Do you see that?
Yes.
And at the top, you say, agreed, we'll do it today, right?
Yes.
Meaning that you agreed that the ad-free service should be stopped. You should stop selling the ad-free service, right?
Yes.
Okay. And that was July 15th, 2011, correct?
Yes.
Was there any more sales of the ad-free service to Web Sleuths members after this exchange?
Yes.
How many sales?
I don't know.
Was it more than one?
Yes.
And why did you continue to sell the ad-free services if you agreed with Ms. Pruitt that you would stop selling the services?
If I remember correctly, we had a conversation about how some members may need it because their computers don't work right with the ads or whatever. So just to leave it up there for the members that needed it. That's what I remember doing. And then I think a couple of years later, we decided, since literally nobody was even doing it anymore, then we took it off.
And for the members that needed it, was it sold to the members or was it just a free service given to the members?
Well, I gave a lot of free ad frees to people, but if members wanted an ad free, they had to pay $35.
So this is just an aside, and she says that there, well, I gave a lot of free ad frees to people. I think that she continued to do stuff like that. She continued to act like Web Sleuths was hers and she could just do whatever she wanted. And that her giving a free, somebody ad-free access to Web Sleuths didn't have any effect on Sue, when of course it does, right? Because Sue is a 50-50 partner with her. And you can tell when she starts talking about things that are not getting her in trouble that she understands the details of things a little better than she pretends to when it's, something that is like, what do you mean? Why shouldn't I give away free ad frees? It's my website, right?
Did that $35 get put into the Web Sleuths LLC Chase account?
No.
Where did that $35 go to?
And went into my PayPal account.
And then would you then transfer that $35 into the LLC Web Sleuths account?
No.
Why not?
In 2011, your client agreed that we could do a push on the $35. This was a little bit before the signing of the contract.
Just to clarify here, so HMS Gen X lady is asking, can you even do that? I thought it was YouTube that chooses the ads if you're monetized. So she's talking about the Web Sleuths forum that she has online, websleuths.com. This is in 2014. She doesn't actually start Web Sleuths YouTube channel until 2020. So she is pulling this grift just through her online website at this point. And partly she also has an online radio show. So yeah, big pause. There's lots of big pauses in this where she's like trying to manufacture her answers to be sort of semi-believable.
So I could get some money into my account. And so we did a big push on it, and she told me I could keep those. Then at the end of 2011, we had or maybe it was the beginning of 2012, I think I had 4 more, and I told her I was going to put them into the account, and I totally forgot. I think there was 4 that I didn't put into the account.
So there's another one, right? This is another tactic they use, is this constant plausible deniability. Like, oh, I forgot, right? We made that arrangement up until a certain point, and then after that, it just slipped my mind, right? I just forgot. And you can't prove that she didn't forget, right? It's just such a manipulation. Betsy Tag, I believe that Miss Pruitt was blindsided by Trisha's deceit. I don't think she had any idea. She came into this thinking that she was going to help Trisha and that she had already been helping her. And she came into it thinking, like, genuinely, right, that she wanted to make a go of this thing, right? She was putting her money in. She was going to put her time and her expertise and her money, and she was going to help Trisha get out of the bad spot that she was in, and everybody was going to be a winner, right? Including the true crime community that they were going to help, and all these, they were going to have the hive mind that was going to be out there. Like, I think Sue was completely in earnest, and she had no idea. She thought that Trisha was her friend. That is how I understand it. I could be wrong. I am not Sue. I haven't spoken to her. But it seems to be that that's Trisha's pattern, right? Is these people think that she's their friend. And then it turns out that she's grifting and scamming off them.
But in 2011, she told me I could keep all of those.
Sorry, I also wanted to mention when she's saying she told me I could keep those. Whenever she uses this tactic of being the, like, I'm the underling who's being told by your client, the boss woman, what I can and can't do. And she said I could, right? But then when it suits her, she wants to be the managing partner and she wants to be the one who's in control. But when it's going to maybe get her out of trouble, she switches that around into, like, Sue was the mommy that said she could have the cookie from the cookie jar. And then she just misunderstood, and she thought that mommy said she could have 2 cookies, right? That's the manipulation there.
And then in 2004, I think, or excuse me, 2000, I can't remember.
And that was prior to the agreement, correct? The written agreement between you and Ms. Pruitt, right? Do you know the email address?
Yes.
Who is that?
That's
Do you correspond with Mr. via email regularly?
I haven't for a while, but I did.
I think this is CR they're talking about.
I'll show you Exhibit 29. And this is an email from...
Right? Cat Baloo says, even if Sue said she could have it, if it wasn't right, then don't do it. But that's the manipulation. That's the blame shifting, right? That wasn't my fault. She said I could, right? You're spot on. It's absolute blame shift. Hey, Olap, nice to see you. Thank you for the links in the email the other day. Thank you very kindly for that.
What looks like to be Mr. right?
Yes.
It's to Miss Pruitt, correct?
Yes.
And if you go down 1, 2, 3, 4. The fifth paragraph says, as you know, you have my 100% support. Do you see that?
Yes.
And then you go down further to the.
Okay, sorry, I just want to orient people because I know I keep interrupting and maybe losing track of where we are. They are now talking, sorry, they're not talking about CR. They are now talking about Mr. H. And this email is an email from Mr. H to Sue Pruitt. That's what they're reading from right now. And he is saying that he is alarmed by what he has learned about Trisha.
Third to last paragraph, it says, I want to see Web Sleuths prosper and do good works. Do you see that?
Yes.
That is all I want. I also wish to protect other members from the fleecing which I was a part of. Do you see that?
Yes.
Did Mr. ever express concern to you that he felt like you fleeced him, to use his words?
No.
It says, I truly thought I was helping out a friend in need, but it is apparent that given Trisha's bills, that I was/am supporting far more than living hand in mouth. Do you see that?
Yes.
Did he ever express that concern to you?
No, he did not.
It says, God forbid anyone else is feeding whatever Trisha's habits are. Do you see that?
Yes.
Did he ever express any concerns about that to you?
No, he did not.
It says, I am mortified at the prospect. Do you see that?
Yes.
It says, I hope you know you have my support. Do you see that?
Yes.
And Mr. given you thousands of dollars, correct?
Yes.
And he's never expressed the concerns that we just saw in this email, right?
No.
I also want to point out, I forgot right at the beginning when they started talking about Mr. H here, he says, do you often email with this person? And she says, I used to. So just remember that for later.
Do you agree with Mr. characterization in this email that you were part of a fleecing of him, whatever that means?
No.
I really wish this lawyer wouldn't pull his punches. He does that a few times, of a fleecing of him, whatever that means. What do you mean? Whatever that means. We all know what that means. Why would you do that? He's a little bit namby-pamby, in my opinion. And I'm not sure if it's just because he's trying to get in with Trisha's lawyer.
With the portion that we read, I get the impression, or at least it seems like he's expressing concern that he feels a little used, right?
Yes.
To me, she does look embarrassed here, though, right? I don't think she has any real shame. It's like it doesn't run deep, right? It's just in the moment. But her face does look red to me here. I mean, certainly I would be dying, but then I would never have done any of this in the first place, exactly because I would die of shame.
Do you see any reason for him to feel that way?
No.
No, she doesn't see any reason why he would feel that way. He literally, not only does he, Glam Dolly 30 says, her face is flushed with embarrassment, as well she should be, but Penny's right. This lawyer never went for the throat. Disappointing. Not only does he take his foot off the gas, at the points when it's hotting up a bit, he puts his foot on the brake even, right? With that, whatever that means. We all know what it means. When you go out and fleece a lamb, you get all the goods off it, right? Or a sheep, right? You leave them naked. Like, we know what fleecing is. It's very frustrating. And it's an aid to people like this, right? That this is what I'm talking about, where I say people fill in the blanks for them and they give them the benefit of the doubt and they da. This is a lawyer in a deposition and he's doing it. You can imagine how much she gets away with people in her personal life.
Did you ever try, or did you ever mention to Mr. that you would sell him the antique organ?
No.
So,
Excuse me. Let me back up. I may have offered it to him, but I didn't try and sell it to him. But
Grizzly Bear Kelly says a big question would be, do any of us see where she is even a little bit ashamed of what she's done to any of them? No, she clearly isn't, right? And it's interesting because you see in the phone call with CR where she describes, the things that Sue is saying about her. And she's like, and it's not true. And it makes me look so bad. It makes me look so sleazy and so scummy. So we know that at least cognitively, she is aware that those are sleazy and scummy things to do and that they're wrong, right? But she justifies for herself why it's okay for her. It's wrong for other people, but it was okay in this situation. And if it wasn't okay in this situation, it was okay because it was her. And if it wasn't okay because it was her, you know what I mean? Like, they always find a way. They always find a way. So, she is cognitively certainly aware, but does she feel any real shame about it? No. I mean, you can tell by the way she speaks about Sue and the fact that all of her machinations with, like, this is current up to the moment, this business with Beth B, right? She clearly has no shame. She's trying to get money off of the animal shelter for her own purposes.
No.
So you might have offered it for sale, right?
No, just it was for, hey, you've given me all this money. I've got this. All I have is this antique organ. Do you want it? Type thing.
That's interesting, though, because in her mind, in her brain, remember, in her mind, she had already sold that organ to CR. And she was going to maybe be stuck with it in her house for the rest of her life because maybe CR was never going to come and get it. But apparently at the same time, she was offering it to Mr. H. So that's interesting.
How did you come to find out of Mr. identity?
He wrote an email to our Web Sleuth's general email account trying to contact me. And he had listened to the radio show and he had listened to the radio show and he wanted to support my radio show and get in touch with me. He told me that he was, I think in the email, he might have said that he was helping the Travis Alexander family. And he listed all his contact information that he wanted me to contact him.
I don't know if you remember from the CR phone call the other day when CR asked her, how did she know Mr. H? And she said that she had known him for years from her radio show. Remember that? And now here she is saying that she met him when he contacted her on Web Sleuth. Junebug.
It was the Web Sleuth website accepting donations.
Okay, people. Junebug Crafter is here to say I'm sorry for being rude to you. And I just want to say, Junebug, that I have an enormous amount of respect for you for doing that. I understand that it can be really difficult to come to terms with the fact that someone that you believed in has been lying to you. It can be kind of earth-shattering. And I respect you for taking in the new information and coming over and joining us on the light side here. So I'm really glad that you could join us today. So welcome. Seems like everybody's happy to see you.
donations for the Travis Alexander family?
We were not accepting donations, no.
Sorry, and unless I wasn't clear, apology accepted.
Was there any advertisement about where donations for the Alexander family could be made?
Yes.
And where would those donations be made to?
It was a PayPal account set up for the Alexander family.
Was that a PayPal account that you were in charge of?
No.
Somebody else was in charge of that account? Who?
Yes. I don't know.
Okay. So it's your testimony that you came.
So Junebug Crafter says I got banned from her chat and on her website. My account is gone. Yeah, I am not surprised to hear that. But I'm sorry for you that that's how that happened, because being discarded by somebody that you cared about is a painful experience, even when you realize that that person doesn't deserve your respect and love. It's still destabilizing, and I'm sorry for you that she put you through that.
To meet Mr. that when he asked a question to the email address, the website's email address, right?
Yes.
About when did that occur? Approximately.
Well, sometime in spring of 2013.
Okay.
Touching the face again, making her uncomfortable.
Did you ever inform any Web Sleuth members that you discovered Mr. made a donation to the Travis Alexander Fund?
He talked about making donations to the fund.
So just to make sure that everybody is getting the most out of this part of the conversation, if you recall from the CR phone call, I know a lot of you were here the other day to hear that. So from the CR phone call, she talks about Mr. H. CR brings up Mr. H and asks a bunch of questions to get on the record. And Trisha talks about him and talks about all the donations and all the big donations and all the money and all the etc. And she is now denying that she ever said anything about those things to anybody. So I believe that this part of the conversation is to catch her out with the evidence from the phone call that she did exactly what she is denying doing here.
I didn't go around telling people he did.
Okay, so you don't remember ever telling anybody that you found out that he made a large donation?
Objection form. Go ahead.
He talked about making a large donation, so.
Right, and I understand you heard him say that, but
Right.
you don't recall yourself ever telling anybody else besides Mr. Hagenstat that he made a large donation to the Travis Alexander Family Fund.
Well, he talked about it on the radio. Like everybody heard it. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, so he talked about it on your radio show.
Yes.
And what did he say on your radio show?
I can't remember. Just that he was making donations to help the family, and it was significant, something to that effect. I believe.
See that? She just said the thing about I missed a redaction there. Sorry, people. I don't know how I did it. I thought I paid very close attention. She just said, I said he made a donation, right? She's denying that she said he made a large donation, and she's just saying that that's exactly what she said.
If I remember correctly.
Do you ever recall telling Miss Pruitt that you knew who an anonymous donor was that made donations to the Travis Alexander Family Fund?
I may have.
Do you ever recall telling Miss Pruitt that Mr. was a lonely widower with lots of money and no one to spend it on?
I don't believe I said that.
Is Mr. a widower?
Yes.
You see how red in the face she is there? You see that? She's denying that she ever said that he was a rich, lonely old widower.
Do you believe he has lots of money?
I don't know if he has lots of money.
Do you ever recall telling any member of Web Sleuths that you did a Google search for Mr.
Yes.
And who did you tell that to?
Sue.
And what did you tell her about your Google search?
I said I did the Google search because he was talking about making all these large donations, and I thought he could be a fraud. And I was concerned that WebSleuth was advertising this PayPal account.
So what she's saying is that the reason that she Googled Mr. H was because she was trying to make sure that he was not accepting donations that he was then just going to steal. And again, to me, this is just another example of the plausible deniability, right? Because she's saying that she was being responsible to her members and to her website, that she wasn't going to allow this scammer person, right, to scam them and get their money. But it's going to come up in a little bit, the other things that she didn't bother to do, and the people that she didn't bother to check out, and the results of that. So I think it's fair to say that she is using that to cover her ass, and she actually Googled him so she could find out just how much money he did have and how much she could reasonably expect to fleece him for. And we know that she got at least $50K off of him. That's what she admits to.
And here is talking about making all these donations, and he's this big guy. And I said, I did a Google search to make sure he wasn't a fraud.
Is that something typically you would do with a member who's donating money to make sure they are who they say they are?
I absolutely would do that in a case like this.
Have you heard the?
I don't know, but about you guys, but to me, the idea that Trisha is doing the responsible thing because she's a responsible person who would never let something like this get past her responsible self is so laughable. It's absolutely ridiculous, particularly in light of everything else that she's already admitted throughout this deposition. It's quite something.
The recording of a telephone call between
exactly right.
That.
Yes, I have.
And
right, Maury? Trisha due diligence Griffith, right? Yeah, exactly.
You heard Mr. express concerns about how quickly you were spending money, correct?
Yes.
Objection. What?
Sorry.
A curious-minded seeker is confused, and I think maybe other people are too. So what she's talking about is not that he made a big donation to WebSleuth. What he did was he made a big donation to the Alexander family. And what he was doing was advertising he had an advertisement on the WebSleuth website where people could donate to the Alexander family through him. And so she's saying that she was vetting him to make sure that that's actually what was happening. He wasn't just some guy who was setting up this donation thing and then going to keep all the money for himself. So it wasn't a donation to WebSleuth. It was that he was using WebSleuth as a conduit for donations to the Alexander family. So yes, carry on.
Did you hear that?
Yes.
Did Mr. ever express concerns to you about how quickly you were spending money that you were receiving?
No.
Has he ever expressed concerns to you about how quickly you spend money that he has given you?
I don't recall.
You said earlier that when we were looking at the 2011 accounts and part of the 2012 accounts, that was a different time and you're on a better track now, right? What changed from then until now?
When I brought Sue, your client, in, the idea was that I needed a partner to help with the website. I needed someone to teach me how to be a manager, to show me what to do. Those were the things she offered. It didn't happen.
Okay, I just have to push against that, right? She just goes, it didn't happen. Like it's this passive voice thing that just, it never occurred. But she has already given testimony, and there has been evidence brought up of the many, many times that Sue tried to explain to her how things work and why she shouldn't do this and why she shouldn't do that and why she needed to put these things over here and why she needed to put everything in the LLC name and why she needed to take out bigger sums rather than small. Like, it seems like Sue was attempting to teach her these things all along. And we also know from the CR phone call, from Trisha's own words, that Sue was doing a great job on the website running the forum, and that she had picked up very well how to do it. So this is in direct contradiction to things that she's already said, just to make sure people know that she's lying. Of course, her lips are moving, so obviously she's lying, but just very specifically, that's what she's lying about.
My offer was to show her how to be to run a forum. It didn't happen. In 2013, when I received the letter about the demand letter.
This was the letter from this law firm, Hanson
Yes.
Report? Okay.
And I looked at that letter and I realized that that I did have some changes to make.
What kind of changes?
I should not tell people about my problems. I'm embarrassed that I did that. I'm mortified that I did that. It was all the truth, but I will never do that again.
And why is that embarrassing to you?
Looking back on it now, it makes me look whiny and weak. And I was just trying to survive.
You see that nice little bit at the end where she blame shifted, right? It made me look whiny and weak, but, right? But she doesn't say but the but is there. I was just trying to survive, right? I was in survival mode. That's why I did those things. Look at the expression on her face, right? It wasn't my fault. I mean, you can shift blame onto, you don't have to necessarily shift blame onto people, right? She is blame shifting onto a circumstance. It wasn't her fault. She was just trying to survive. She was in survival mode.
And do you believe, looking back on it, that WebSleuth, the website, could potentially suffer a reputational harm if one of its owners is out there talking about her financial situation to members?
No.
No. How could it? How could my telling everybody what a huge loser I am have any bearing on the business that I run and am the face of? That just doesn't even make logical sense.
Do you believe that it's detrimental to WebSleuth, the website, if one of its owners is accepting thousands of dollars from one of its members?
No.
Did you ever consult Miss Pruitt prior to accepting?
So if she doesn't think that's a problem, why is she sorry and will never do it again? Right? Like, I mean, she literally contradicts herself from one second to the next. It's just wild to watch.
Accepting any gifts or donations from any members to yourself?
No.
Did you ever think that that would be something that she might need to be a part of, as far as a decision as to whether you and she should accept gifts from members?
No.
I mean, she's pretty gutsy in a way, right? It's not, I would find it terribly difficult to face this kind of stuff out. I just don't, I couldn't do it. And yet she does.
that many documents left
And
there.
we're running short here. I keep on digging, thinking there's going to be more that are appearing, but they're not. Gosh. Let's see. Oh, here's one I haven't used.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, I gather she's not real, the due diligence doesn't extend to the taxes. So, people with better knowledge of that sort of thing than me have talked about the fact that, like that whatever the company, I don't know, sorry, it's confused. I don't really know, but the Web Sleuths LLC hasn't filed taxes or whatever, and it shouldn't have even existed, and yet she was still doing business under that name, even though part of the settlement should have meant that it didn't exist anymore. So there's all kinds of shadiness. Yes, I think that she could genuinely, like Al Capone or whatever, right? She could be got. She could be in legal hot water for things like that. Absolutely.
Two I haven't used. I know what you want. I'll make you happy. You want to use the document? We'll use it. Okay.
Fun to watch her during the long pauses.
I'm going to show you Exhibit 30. And, I do have a copy for you.
Thank you.
Yeah. And this is a check, correct? It's a copy of a check.
Yes.
And it is made payable to, correct?
Melanie says she knows this looks bad, but she doesn't really feel it. She feels entitled to behave this way. That's why she continues. And I think you are spot on correct about that. That's exactly it. She feels entitled. And part of the emotion that is coming off of her, to me, isn't shame. It's outrage at being forced to answer these questions, right? At being put in this position. She very, very clearly feels like, for whatever reason, that's what they do, right? It's one rule for thee and another for me. And they always find a way to say, well, yes, I understand that that's the rule, but because of whatever. Because I was in survival mode, because I was angry, because I was hungry, because you looked at that other person like you thought they might be a nice person, because you didn't pay attention to me, because my shoes were too tight, because the mechanic didn't do a good job on my car. Whatever it is, right? Whatever it is, they always find a reason why the rule doesn't apply to them.
Yes.
And
Think of that Ali Abulaban guy, right? Who's like, yeah, but I was mad. I was upset. Right? When he's talking about how he abused his wife prior to eventually murdering her. He is genuinely sitting there on the stand going, but I was upset. Right? Like, well, don't you get it? Why don't you get it? Right? It's never their fault. And so they can, when they need to roll out the rules for everybody else so they can catch everybody else misbehaving, no problem, right? But when it's them, they can always find a way but I was upset, whatever it is.
it has your name, Patricia Griffith, correct?
Yes.
So this was a cashier's check that you got in order to pay back Miss Rhodes, correct?
Yes.
And that was for the money that she had given you on the Bluebird account?
Yes.
Okay, and let me show you Exhibit 31. You've seen these before, right? These are the Bluebird account records that we produced in this litigation?
Yes.
Okay, and so Exhibit 30 was used to pay back the debts in Exhibit 31, right?
Yes.
Okay, and it doesn't exactly equal the amount in Exhibit 31. The check doesn't exactly equal the amount in Exhibit 31, right?
I don't know. I guess not.
This is the money that she got from CR, and they're talking about the check that she gave CR to pay back.
Did ever express a concern to you that the amount spent on the Bluebird account was approximately $2,300 in 1 month?
No.
Did Ms. ever express a concern to you about the amount spent on the Bluebird account was $2,300 in 1 month?
No.
Mr. has allowed you to kind of have a fresh start and eliminate a lot of debt, right?
Hey,
Objection form.
Well, let me ask you this. The money from Mr. that he's given you has allowed you to eliminate debts that you owed, right?
yes.
Without his money, you probably wouldn't have been able to pay back these debts, right?
Objection form.
You agree with me that without his money,
You can answer. I mean, I don't know how relevant this is, so I mean.
Well, that's
I mean,
fine.
Yeah, we're giving you a lot of latitude here, but this is all personal loans. So, I mean,
Well,
we've already established that they were personal loans.
well, yeah, but it involves a web sleuth member.
It involves a WebSys member who was giving her money personally, and she's already testified to that fact. So, I mean, I'm happy to give her that latitude, but it seems like you're digging for something that doesn't exist.
Well, let me ask you this. You wouldn't have known Mr. had it been for the Web Sleuth website, right?
No, he found me on my radio show.
So,
Remember before she said that he found her on Web Sleuth? That's how he contacted her. Remember that?
he located you on the radio show prior to being a member of Web Sleuth?
I don't know when he was a member of Web Sleuth, but he found me on the radio show.
Okay.
She has diabetes. Like, does she have diabetes? She says she has diabetes, but does she have diabetes? And does she take insulin for her diabetes? Is it insulin dependent? Diabetes is kind of a serious illness. You think that she would have to kind of take better care of herself.
You agree with me that with Miss Pruitt, with Miss and with at least those three members, there's kind of a pattern, right, of your dealings with them?
Objection form. No idea.
You don't? Okay. Let me ask you this.
She's not good at pattern recognition. It's part of her incompetence. She doesn't know.
With Mr. and with
I just want to remind everybody that according to Trisha herself, she is at this time living with Helen Ross. Just to keep people oriented in the time. I mean, she may have been lying about that. She lies so much, right? At one point during this deposition, she says that she had to, come to Texas or whatever to stay with a friend who needed her help. And she talks about it as though it was a thing in the past tense. But at another time, she talks about living with Helen for 2 years up until her death in December of 2015. So in September of 2014, she would have been living with Helen Ross at this time. So while she's over here not recognizing the very obvious pattern, she's literally living with Helen Ross.
Miss Pruitt, you received money from them on multiple occasions, right?
Not all three. He gave me money twice. And yes, Sue and too.
And at least with those three people, the ones we've discussed here today, your relationship with them began over the internet, correct?
Yes.
And with those three people, they gave you money.
No, I think Helen was in. I might be mixing up Beth B and whatever, but Helen was in Hollister, I believe, in California. No?
After you had friendly discussions with them about the difficulties of life, correct, that you were undergoing.
Yes.
And it's your position that all three people offered to give you money and you did not ask for money from them, right?
Yes.
Happy Hiker says she's old enough to retire and probably has no retirement savings, sadly. Yeah, and that's probably true. And it seems like what she has done is spend the trust that she would have inherited at some point too. She has pre-spent all that money. So yeah, I think she's in a right pickle, but I just don't see how that gives her the right to do any of this. A lot of people seem to be aware that Helen was in fact in California. Yeah, she was in Hollister, California. I misspoke. I was thinking of Beth B. I mean, it's possible that she never lived with Helen and she just said that. I'm just sort of saying, like, all of her stories don't add up. And one of her stories has her living with Helen at this point while she's pretending that she has no knowledge of the pattern that she uses to grift off elderly people.
Do you work for iHeartRadio?
Yes.
And what kind of work do you do for iHeartRadio?
I do a show once a week.
Do you get paid for that show?
No.
Does iHeartRadio advertise on WebSleuth's website?
No.
Has iHeartRadio ever advertised on the WebSleuth's website?
No, iHeart hasn't advertised on the website.
Hang on a second. So True Crime Sushi says she did live with Helen. So do we have sure knowledge of that? Because I would love it. I know she said she did. And I know that she wears Helen's ring. But I didn't know that we had sure proof of that. So if we do, then great. I mean, certainly that's what she claims.
Is the show that you do for iHeartRadio advertised on the WebSleuth's website?
Yes.
And does that show pay money for those advertisements?
No.
This is another one of those things where she was like, but why shouldn't I be able to just give away ad free, whatever to whoever I want? It's my website. And again, like, why shouldn't I be able to advertise my radio show for free on my website when it's not her website? It's an LLC, right? It's not WebSleuth's DBA Trisha Griffith anymore. And she has been told all of this, and yet she's pretending that she doesn't understand. Why can't I just use it like it's all my personal bank account?
Why not?
I don't get paid.
Oh.
Did you ever tell Mr. that he should not tell Miss Pruitt that he gave you money?
I don't know. I don't remember.
You don't remember.
She doesn't remember whether or not she told Mr. H not to tell Sue that he had given her money. But we all heard her in her own hysterically upset and worried voice yelling at CR not to tell Sue that she had given Trisha money. So I think we can extrapolate based on the fact that her lips are moving, so she's obviously lying, and that other very specific lie about this exact same thing, that she did tell Mr. H not to tell Sue.
So if he testifies in this case that you told him he should not inform Miss Pruitt that he gave you money, you won't be able to dispute that, right?
I'd have to go back and look my notes. See, I don't know.
Right? As if this woman, Trisha Due Diligence Griffith, is taking contemporaneous notes about the conversations that she has with the people she's grifting off. My God, who does she think she is fooling with that? Oh, God. Hey,
All right, let's take a break.
you found us.
We are off the record. The time is 3:42 p.m. Okay, we are back on the record. The time is 3:57 p.m.
Okay, Miss Griffith, did you ever operate a forum called Justice Watch?
No.
Were you ever a member of a forum called Justice Watch?
Yes.
So somebody else owned that forum then?
Yes.
Okay.
Silences.
I'm going to show you Exhibit 32. And if you could look that over, paragraph 41, or it has a number 41, it says Voyager. Have you ever seen this before?
Yes.
Do you remember writing this?
Barely.
Do you recall what this was in response to?
Not really.
Do you remember there being complaints on this forum that the person operating this website took donations in to operate the website, and the donations exceeded what the cost was to operate the website?
I don't. Is this really 2001? I don't remember.
Okay. Did you ever, let me ask you this, do you recall somebody's screen name being,
Yes.
and who was that?
She was a moderator.
And she passed away, is my understanding, right?
Yes.
And did you accept any money or gifts on her behalf or her family's behalf?
No.
Do you recall any members transferring money to you for her or her family?
You see how she's looking like, geez, I have to think about that. So he's asking her about a Web Sleuth member who passed away. And apparently the allegation is that she accepted donations on behalf of the family of this member who passed away. But there's no, she's like, what? No, I don't think so. Like, as if she wouldn't remember that. So again, I'm just going to guess that she's lying and that she did do that she collected donations on behalf of the family, and she didn't think that the family would find out and that she took the money. That is my guess. Seems to be the allegation.
I don't recall. I don't believe so, but I don't recall.
Okay.
Remember.
Do you know a person by the name of?
It may be a member. I don't know.
Okay. Does Web Sleuth run background checks on its moderators and administrators?
Yes,
These are criminal background checks, right?
I believe so.
Again, we're going to learn about Trisha Due Diligence Griffith here. Yeah, she can't recall, right? She can't recall. I can't recall if I took donations for this member who passed away. I can't recall. It's interesting. You should go and listen to, if you haven't heard, Dream Feed Media did a video called Do the Robots Believe Trisha or something like that, where she goes over the woo-woo Saturday night video of the Be Me text. And she did a whole bunch of, she fed a whole bunch of the transcript into Chat GPT and had it all sort of broken down for the types of words used and who were they about and what were they about and how did they speak about Beth B and how did they speak about Trisha and all this. And it's interesting. It's very revealing. It's not like there is analysis there. She doesn't talk a lot about the analysis, but she does the breakdown literally of just the kind of words that they used and why. It kind of explains why it was such an off-putting thing to watch and why it didn't feel like any kind of memorial or like Beth was being honored in any real way. It's quite interesting. Anyway, Dream Feed Media.
When did those begin?
I'm not sure.
Was it before or after Miss Pruitt came along and entered into the agreement with you?
Before, I tried to run some when I could, but after Sue came on board, we were able to do them regularly.
Do you ever recall a situation involving a moderator or
See, I mean, he does. I guess it doesn't matter for this, but I would be interested in being like, well, why couldn't you? And if you can't do it because you can't afford it, then can you really afford to be running a business? Like questions like that. Like if you are not doing due diligence with the people that are moderating your entire forum, then you're not, you shouldn't be running that forum if you're not able to do that, right? It's irresponsible. But he doesn't go after that. And I get it's not entirely the point of why he's here, but I would like her to answer those questions.
administrator named Wind Chime?
Yes.
I did not redact this person's name because you will see.
And that moderator administrator, it was found out was convicted of a felony, is that right?
Yes.
Do you recall giving a interview with Inside Edition related to the wind chime incident?
No.
Do you recall giving an interview with Inside Edition whereby in 2009 you told the interviewer that Web Sleuth ran background checks on all of its administrators and moderators?
I don't remember that, but
Does anybody remember if that is up somewhere? I tried to find it and I couldn't find the actual Inside Edition interview, but I feel like somebody put that up somewhere. Do you know anything about that, Olapi? About the Inside Edition interview where she claims that they did background checks on all their moderators, and then it turned out that one of their moderators was caught with CSM on their phone. Does anybody remember that?
Okay. Do you recall in 2011 telling Ms. Pruitt that Web Sleuth does not run background checks on moderators or administrators because they cost too much?
I don't remember saying that.
See, right? Like this is all like three different versions of the story all in one little conversation here, right? What she told Sue, what she's telling him, and what she told Inside Edition. Yeah, Junebug, I just want to say too, like, don't feel that bad, man. These people, she has fooled a lot of people. She has fooled a lot of people. And in fact, she had fooled a number of us, right? I mean, I didn't really pay much attention to Trish. I just thought she was this daft old lady who couldn't see past the end of her own nose. I didn't even really look at her any further than that until she took up Lauren Matthias's case with the Hidden True Crime Saga. So there's, Trisha grifts like she breathes, right? She's very good at it. She does it for a living. She's been doing it her whole life. And you are a kind-hearted, decent person who believed her. You projected your goodness onto her and you believed her because you would never do the things that she does. And it's very hard for us to imagine, other people doing those things. So I know it's really destabilizing to find out something like this about someone that you cared about. I do understand that. And I hope you give yourself some grace in, processing it.
Who is
She is an administrator.
on the website, the Webster's website?
Yes.
Have you ever promised to pay her for her time or her work or labor?
I don't remember.
Okay, she's going to contradict herself in a minute again here, but just remember she's saying she doesn't remember if she promised to pay this person.
Okay. Was there a time this year where you changed the password for the V Bulletin?
Yes.
And did you inform Miss Pruitt of that change?
Yes.
How long after you changed the password did you inform Miss Pruitt?
I don't remember.
What's this person's first name? Do you know
Yes.
who is,
She was a member of Webslews.
and did she perform work on the website?
Yes.
When did she perform that work?
Before your client came on board.
So that was prior to 2011?
Yes.
And did you promise to pay her for the work she performed?
Yes.
And was it after the filing of this lawsuit that you sent her $300 to compensate her for the work she performed?
Yes.
Is it your contention that Miss has been paid in full for the services she performed?
I say no. She says yes.
This is another example of the I'll gladly pay you Tuesday for a hamburger today, right? So she is able to say right now, she says that we've paid her enough, but I say we didn't pay her enough, that we still owe her more. So she's very free with money that doesn't exist and that this person is claiming that they don't want, because she's able to make herself look like she's reasonable and generous and, etc. Right? Money in the bank.
Okay, I'm going to show you what's one of our last examples.
Anybody want to bet that Trisha is a terrible tipper? I mean, unless she just won the jackpot, in which case she might be expensive, but otherwise she will find a reason to say the service is bad, and so she didn't have to tip.
Exhibits, being number 33.
Did you say one of our last exhibits?
I used the word one. And these are your responses to the disclosures in this case. You see these?
Mm-hmm.
And they were sent to our office on September 25th. You see that?
Yes.
Okay. And if you go to the third page under paragraph C, I'm going to read paragraph C. You're there.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, just saying that apparently Lauren is trying to get Christina kicked out of CrimeCon again. And I guess apparently Jay has caught it live. So we can look forward to hearing more about that. Whew. Live updates from CrimeCon. Exciting.
It says, Miss Pruitt has no evidence that Miss Griffith has mismanaged or embezzled funds as she has alleged. Do you see that?
Yes.
At the time of filing this document, did you recall the money that you had taken by accident that we looked at those emails earlier? You recall those emails, right, that we looked at?
Yes.
That said you were sorry to Miss Pruitt for taking money she had put in the LLC?
Yes.
At the time of writing that, did you recall those emails?
I don't know.
Okay.
So people are probably being distracted by the whole business with Christina and everything. But what she's just saying here is that in her response to Sue's suit being filed, her response, she said that she denied that she had ever embezzled any money or whatever. And he is saying, so did you forget about that time that you took Sue's money out of the account when you said that? Did you forget about that? And she's like, yeah, she's caught red-handed with her hand in the cookie jar right now. Just saying.
Do you think that you have mismanaged the Web Sleuths LLC?
No.
Do you think that overdrawing the account can be considered mismanagement of the Web Sleuths LLC?
I feel it can be a mistake that I have since corrected.
And how did you correct?
She thinks it was a mistake that she has okay, so I guess Jay did a live, and people need to go check out Jay's live because Christina them attempting to kick Christina out is on Jay's live. I don't know if her live is going now. I don't know if it was going before. It sounds like it's past tense, so I think it might be a live that has already been posted up. Well, they settled the thing in the end. So lover of bad puns says, I'm shocked there weren't embezzlement charges. I don't think Jay is live right now. That's not the understanding I have. I think she was live. Was it yesterday? Well, yeah, I know that they tried to get Jay kicked out yesterday. But I don't think they tried to get Christina kicked out yesterday. I may be wrong.
Correct that mistake.
It could very well be.
If you look at the account, it's 2013 on, it's been perfect.
What have you done yourself to prevent the overdrawing and the fees to be incurred for overdrawing on the account?
This is a fun answer because it takes a long time for her to answer this. What did she do to change her behavior from when Sue was like, you have to stop using the bank account like it's your own personal bank account?
I've first of all, we've made more money.
So she didn't do that. Right? So that's nothing she did.
And I've just been more careful.
Been more careful, meaning that if the money's not in the account, you don't take it, right?
Yeah, well, it depends on the situation, but yes.
Do you check the account more often now than you did, say, in 2011?
I don't know.
before making or withdraw from the account, do you look to make sure that money is in the account now?
Yes.
He has to ask her, did you do this? Did you do that? Did you do this? What did you do to change? She didn't do shit.
Part of managing the Web Sleuths LLC is to manage the finances, correct?
Yes.
And as manager of the LLC, that's your duty, right?
Yes.
Has Web Sleuths LLC filed a franchise tax report for the year 2013?
I believe we have. I believe we have. I'm not sure.
Okay. You haven't filed that document, have you, yourself?
I'd have to check. I filed something and I can't remember what it was.
Do you know who the registered agent is of websleuths.com LLC?
It was Ron.
And who is it now?
We do not have a registered agent. We've been looking into finding one.
So you haven't changed the registered agent from Mr. Pruitt, have you?
No, I have not.
Okay.
So he's just pointing out again, right? She's the manager. These are the things she's supposed to do. They don't have a business agent because their business agent was Ron Pruitt, Sue's husband. And he became quite ill. I don't know if he has passed away at this point, but he did pass away throughout the course of all of this. And it was Trisha's responsibility to get another business agent. Ron Pruitt is Sue Pruitt's husband. He passed away through the course of this. In I'm not sure exactly the date, but it was while all of this was going on.
Has websleuths.com LLC filed its taxes for the year 2013?
No.
Why not?
Objection asked and answered. We covered all of this
Did I ask that?
several hours ago.
I don't remember that.
Yes.
I don't remember it either.
Yeah, no, we totally did. I mean, we can go ahead and do it all over again, but it's going to be a waste.
Well,
of
I think, you know what? I think we did talk about the taxes not being filed,
Exactly.
and
I
then her
explained
contacting
everything.
the accountant.
Yeah, it was the whole thing. That's
Did you
the same story.
explain why the taxes weren't filed?
Yes.
Mhm.
And that's my understanding, if I recall now, it's all coming back to me, is that Miss Pruitt typically did that, right?
Yes.
Okay. And this year, you undertook that yourself, right?
Yes.
Okay.
How she has the gall to act outraged that she's been lying for so long that he forgot that he already asked her about these particular lies is really something.
So this was the first time you were filing the tax returns for the LLC.
Yes.
So frustrating.
Thank you for that reminder. I just needed a refresher.
Fine. I didn't want to waste another 15 minutes on that.
She didn't want to waste another 15 minutes. Like, I feel like that's not a super professional comment. But then I guess, I don't know, whatever. It just seemed like a bit of a dig. Like, I don't think getting a deposition in a case is a waste of time.
Then when I was out of the building.
Okay. I think this could be it.
So Just Me says, then she lies to her audience and says that she won. Yeah. So sometimes she says she won. I have heard her say that she settled, and I have heard her say the amount that she settled for. So she says different things at different times, which is very typical. But I, to some degree, I think that she feels that she did win because she came away with Web Sleuths. So she still has her medium for grifting, right? If she had lost Web Sleuths, then she would have really lost. She would have lost everything, right? And for Sue, it wasn't that big a loss, right? Sue hadn't been invested in it for that long, and she wasn't using it as her entire, income source in terms of like getting money out of people. So I don't think it was as big a loss to Sue, but it would have been to Trisha, right? It would have felt like a huge loss. So I think in some ways she legitimately feels like she did win. Yeah, they settled with her. Yeah, she paid her like $100,000. Trisha paid Sue.
I'm going to show you Exhibit 34.
I mean, I say Trisha paid Sue. Helen Ross paid Sue.
Have you seen this document before?
Obviously, we answer the question.
Yes.
This is your counterclaim, right?
Yes.
And this counterclaim alleges, if you go to page 3.
Okay, so just to make sure that people know where we are, this is now, so when Sue sued Trisha, Trisha was like, you're not suing me, I'm suing you. So this is her counterclaim now that they're going to start reading from. These are now Trisha's claims against Sue Pruitt.
You say, Pruitt promised Griffith that. This is on paragraph 22, I'm sorry. Okay. Pruitt promised Griffith that. Do you follow me?
Yes.
It says, Griffith would remain the sole manager of Web Sleuths. Do you see that?
Yes.
And Pruitt would permit Griffith to continue withdrawing up to $3,000 a month from Web Sleuth's corporate account, minus expenses paid for the operation of the company, which at no time have exceeded $400 per month. Do you see that?
Yes.
Do you know if the expenses of Web Sleuth's account, if the expenses of the LLC have exceeded $400 a month in August of 2014?
I believe so, yes.
Have they exceeded that for September of 2014? Do you know?
I don't know. I'd have to take a look.
Okay. And that paragraph B under paragraph 22, the $3,000 a month, is that, explain that to me. I'm sorry. No, let's not go there again. Let me ask you this. A month, in your understanding, means from the 15th to the 15th, right?
Well, yes and no. We pay, here's how it works, that April, let's take the month of April. To get paid for the month of April, let's say we make $3,100 in April, okay? We get that deposited in 2 separate months. We'll get part of it in May and part of it in June, okay? So the month of April, we get those deposits that way. That's how I withdraw the money for the month of April. It's just when the companies deposit it. That's the only way you can keep track of how much we make per month.
Okay, so it's not a 1st through the 30th or the last day of the month?
No.
Okay, all right. Have you ever made the statement to anybody, have you ever told that friends lie for friends?
No.
In your counterclaim, Ms. Griffith, you allege that Miss Pruitt has hurt your reputation, correct?
Yes.
How has she hurt your reputation?
People believe now that I am an embezzler. They think that all I do is scam hundreds of people. Ms. Pruitt has told people that I embezzled money, that she had all these people coming forward that will say I've taken them for money. She's tried to turn my friends against me, almost did it. She made it impossible for me to work on Web Sleuths because of the moderator's dislike for me. And all of this could have been settled behind the scenes. If there was problems with the bank account, she should have said something. And
She did multiple times say something. And all of those things that she accuses her of, they're all true. And we have seen evidence of all of them. So yes. AKA the truth, as Just Me says.
come forward, we could have settled it.
What is your understanding or what is your perception of your online reputation?
I don't.
Literally, how delusional are you, Trisha?
No, I have no idea. Other than I know that what I have heard, that people think I'm an embezzler and that I'm scamming people for money.
Yes.
Do you have an understanding of what your online perception was prior to meeting Miss Pruitt?
The biggest complaint I would get is that I would ban people. That was a big complaint.
Did you ever look into hiring a company to help repair or monitor your online reputation?
She's going to pretend that she doesn't remember, and then he's going to ask her some more specific questions about it, and it's going to turn out that she remembers very well.
I may have, I don't know.
Maybe.
I believe there's an email that's been produced in this litigation where you referenced that it would cost $8,000 in order to repair your online reputation. Does that sound familiar?
That does. That was before all of this, yes.
Okay. And so at that time you felt like there might.
Okay, hang on a second. So that was before all of this. Catch that? That was before all of this. She looked into how to repair her reputation online before all of this. So she has literally just acknowledged that she had a bad reputation before all of this. And so she has just literally, like, she's so dumb. She's so busy trying to be canny and get out of things that she has literally just admitted that her suit is completely groundless because she already had a terrible reputation. So you can't sue somebody for wrecking your reputation if there's evidence and that you just admitted on video that you looked into spending $8,000 to repair your terrible reputation.
Might have been something on the internet, at least one thing that was not true or that you wanted to get rid of, right?
There were things that were not true I wanted to get rid of.
Okay. And it was your understanding that those companies, or at least the company you had looked into, essentially cleans your reputation or repairs your reputation by inundating the internet with good reviews of you so that the bad reviews are kind of at the bottom of the searches, right?
I have no idea how they do it.
Okay.
Yeah. She doesn't have much of an idea about anything, but if you Google Trisha Griffith right now, she does not have a good reputation online.
Oh, yeah.
I'll save that for another day. We'll pass the witness.
Great. Fantastic. Ms. Griffith, I only have several questions for
Okay.
you, but because Mr. Sampari has produced so many exhibits, we're going to have to go through a couple of them.
Okay, she sounds psychotic. For some reason, I picture the lawyer whose name I cannot remember, but the one that was the woman that was co-counsel with Kurt Nomi for Jodi Arias. That is who I picture, but I know that in real life she's actually a buxom blonde. But I pictured that lawyer for some reason.
When you entered into a relationship with Miss Pruitt, do you believe that you fulfilled your part of the bargain that you had struck with her originally?
Yes,
What was that bargain?
that I would teach her how to run the website.
And in return, what was she supposed to do for you?
Okay, so she's already said in this portion, in this 1 hour clip, she has already said that she did not fulfill her part of the bargain, and now she's saying that she did. Complete direct contradiction of something she said like 30 minutes ago.
She had the business skills that she was supposed to help me to learn.
Do you believe that she fulfilled her part of the bargain?
No,
Directing your attention to the discussion about the terms of service, I'm not going to go into the exhibit. In your opinion, what happens if a member violates the terms of service?
they can be banned for life or they can be given a timeout.
Okay. Given that, can an owner ever be banned for a violation of the terms of service?
No,
Can an owner ever be given a timeout for the violation of the terms of service?
no,
Did you reimburse any of the individuals that gave you money that we spoke about since you have been, wait, let me to finish, since you've been in the partnership with Susan Pruitt and since 2011 that he talked about earlier?
yes.
Did you believe that under the terms of the sale and purchase agreement that the LLC owed for the $1,600 approximately that you had paid prior to the LLC's formation?
Objection.
Was it your understanding that the LLC owed money?
Objection.
Okay.
Can I answer?
Yes.
Okay. The LLC did not owe money.
Exhibit 5. Can you go back there? If I can find Exhibit 5, that is. All right. So I can even give you the circled part that I'm going to talk about, but if you're interested. Okay. So in the email on the bottom, the first paragraph from Ms. Pruitt says, in other words, once we get the company to pay what it should, it would then reduce this figure about $515. Excuse me. And you will have the $8,500 to help you until the radio show rolling.
To get
Till you get the radio show rolling.
Right.
Okay. How did you understand this?
That the radio show is a part of Web Sleuths.
Okay. Great. Did Web Sleuths Radio ever make any money?
No,
Was it your understanding that Web Sleuths Radio would ever be responsible for paying advertising on websleuths.com?
can you say that again?
I'm sorry. Was it your understanding? I'm trying to get through this so fast. That Web Sleuths Radio was
Her lawyer is behaving, in my opinion, really inappropriately by trying to rush through all this. Like, it's such an inconvenience for her to have to take this, be a part of this deposition. It's unprofessional and it's icky, in my opinion.
responsible for paying for advertising on websleuths.com?
No, we weren't. It was not.
Did Sue ever request, prior to the filing of this lawsuit, that you pay for advertising for either Web Sleuths Radio or your own personal radio show?
No.
Okay, Exhibit 19.
So she didn't ask you to pay for it, but you should have anyway. Like, that's how a business works. You pay your business. You don't, like, if you own a restaurant, you have to, you have to put things through the books, right? Like, I mean, obviously people have perks and stuff like that, but if it's your business alone, then you can do things. If it's not, you have to do everything fairly with your partner. And there is no need to explain this to a grown-ass adult. We all learn the very simple business of sharing and doing the right thing, by other people, literally in kindergarten. And there's no reason in the world why a woman pushing 60 doesn't understand that the most basic side of her responsibility to her partner. There's no way.
I have that right here. Thank you. So this.
Okay, I want to make a point here, because June is saying she's saying she got kicked off, banned permanently from Web Sleuths. And a lot of us were saying, well, it's not so bad, it's probably for the best, at least you know the truth and all that. And then June is saying it made me sad because I had friends on Web Sleuths. And I think that's a really actually very important point, and I don't want to brush past the impact of what Trisha has done to the people who trusted her and believed in her. People build community. We all very well know, right, that people come to these channels to build community. That's why we're all here, right? And if you guys all found out tomorrow that I was a scammer, you would feel some loss. And you've only known me for a few months, right? But you would feel the loss of this community where you felt like you could be yourself and you could voice your opinion and be heard, and there were like-minded people there with you, right? And for Web Sleuths, a lot of those people have been members for many, many years, and they have built communities that they feel very much a part of that are very real and very important parts of their life, right? And this is part of what her scam is with the, if I don't get the server bill paid, we're going to have to shut down WebSleuth, is she's threatening all these members with the loss of the community that they have come to rely on and that they have built and been a part of for a long time. So I just want to acknowledge that, that, I don't mean to be glib about your being banned from WebSleuth. I mean, I do think ultimately that it's better to accept the truth and move on when these things happen. But I also understand that it's not easy. It's not easy, and you might be processing it for some time. And I'm sorry that happened to you. It is, as I say, it can be very destabilizing when someone that we believe in turns out to have been lying to us for a very long time. So I feel your pain, June, and I'm glad that you are able to find some solace in this other community over here and on Jolene's channel and Jay and etc.
These are the, this is a copy of the Chase banking account, the websleuth.com LLC bank account record from July of 2011. Is that correct?
Yes.
So you had an active LLC account at that point?
Yes.
Okay. In July 2011, what was your understanding about how much money you could take out per month?
I thought I could pay the bills and then take out $3,000.
When did you come to realize that was the wrong interpretation?
I don't think it was until 2013, spring.
Okay, so to get that, right, her deal with the thing that she signed and agreed to was that she could take up to $3,000 a month out of the WebSleuth LLC account. Out of that $3,000, the first thing she had to do was pay the WebSleuth bills, and then she could take anything above that up to $3,000. Apparently, she didn't understand that for an entire 2 years. So she was paying the bills and then taking on top of that. And it took her 2 years to figure that out. Because, yeah, it's really complicated and difficult to understand.
Of 2013.
Okay. In July 2011, were there any deposits that were made personally by you?
Yes.
How much?
There was one deposit for $600 and one deposit for $1,500.
I'm sorry, one deposit for $600 and one deposit for
$1,500.
Okay, don't get too excited, because even though she says it really cockily, like, yeah, I deposited money too, we're about to find out that she then went and took that money out again. So,
did you believe that you had the right to take that personal money back out of the account?
Yes.
Do you believe that that money should not be counted against any potential draw?
Yes.
Were there other months in which this happened?
I'm sure there are. We'd have to go through and look.
yeah, I'm sure that she was just putting money in the account all the time. I'm sure she was just constantly putting huge sums of money in the account. I'm sure she was. She just can't recall because it was like it happened so often. She just can't remember.
Last question is just, Mr. Samperi asked you about your relationship or some things that had said to you, said about you to other members. It's my recollection from your testimony that you indicated that never shared those with you. To your knowledge, does Ms. know that some of these documents have been produced in this case?
Yes.
What has Ms.
Sorry, they're talking about Mr. H here. So and she's doing a bad job of asking, but she's basically what she's trying to get around to is Mr. H happy about the way that he was brought into this suit?
Shared with you? No. What is your relationship with Mr. like right now?
We're very close. There was a time when, as he put it, he was horribly manipulated into believing things that were not true. He felt horrible about it, and he's apologized to me for it. Right now, I mean, and for the longest time, we've been very, very close. He is a dear, dear friend, and he's very, very upset that his phone call was recorded without his permission. And he's very upset that he was manipulated and told these lies to get him to say these things about me.
So interesting, right? So she's saying that Mr. H feels like Sue manipulated him, and that he, the letter he wrote about being fleeced, that he was manipulated into writing that, and blah, 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 blah. But you know what she doesn't have? Is any evidence to back that up, right? Whereas Sue has actual evidence. She has a recorded phone call and she has emails. And Trisha has, yeah, he was really mad about that. But also, if you recall, she's talking about how she's still dear, dear friends with Mr. H. And he was terribly upset about that. And he's a dear, dear friend of hers. But earlier, when they brought him up, she said, when Sue's lawyer said, do you have email contact with Mr. H? And she said, I used to, but not anymore. And now she's claiming that he's a dear, dear friend of hers, and he's terribly upset by the way he was treated by Sue, and that they are still dear, dear friends. So again, complete contradiction in under an hour.
He's not the only one.
That's all I have. I'll reserve the rest. Pass the witness.
Yeah.
Was the money you put in July of 2011, was that a capital investment?
No, I was just using it as a DBA, and I just put it in. I don't even know why.
So it was just you using the account kind of as your personal account, right?
Yes.
Okay. And you realize now that
I don't even know. I'm just, that was a little bit of a Lauren Bambi thing. I just didn't know. I didn't realize. Yeah.
that probably shouldn't have been done, right?
Right.
And you realize that maybe it was a mistake to use the Web Sleuths account as a personal account, right?
Yes.
It would have been
Very
better to have fewer withdrawals of larger amounts rather than lots of withdrawals of fewer amounts, right?
Yes.
Yeah, right. Lover of Bad Puns says Trisha and Lauren both use the phrase dear friends a lot. Yeah, they do. And it's meaningless, right? They use the words like that, the superlative words, the dear friend, because it's the right word to say to convey what they're trying to convey to you. But when you get down to who their dear friend is, they couldn't tell you a single fucking thing about that person, right? When she talks about Beth B in the woo woo, Saturday night Beth B memorial video, she basically uses the most generic words going to describe Beth B, right? She says she's amazing. She says she's wonderful. She says she's, but she doesn't ever say anything that's personal about her or anything that gives you the sense that she actually really knew her, right? And it's the same with, that's Lauren, that's all of those people, right? That's why Lauren's Mormon story was so insanely boring and all of her stories were so clearly lies, because she knows what the big outline is, but she's not able to fill in the nuance, right? So she goes, it was terrible. He was doing this awful thing to me, and I kept pushing him and saying, no, don't do it. But there's no there, right? A person who's describing being, assaulted doesn't talk like that, right? In those very generic terms. And it's very similar here. And in some ways, that's a lot of how they give themselves away, right? Is that everything is very generic and there's no real there. And once you see it, you cannot unsee it.
Probably would have been a good idea.
Yes.
Correct. Okay.
Yes.
I have no further questions.
I'm sorry, officer. I didn't realize I would say.
We are off the record. The time is 4:22 p.m. The deposition of Patricia Griffith.
4:20. Whew. 4:20. Not a moment too soon. Junebug Crafter says, I found Trisha during Summer Wells because I care about Summer Wells a lot. I like the website to stay updated for many reasons. This upset me. Yeah. People have a lot invested in it, which is part of the reason why it's so upsetting, right? This isn't just some Trisha can maybe tell herself that it's some sort of anonymous thing, that she's not really hurting anybody, that it's just, that her grift is kind of spread out over a lot of people that are just $5 a month. It's not that big a deal or whatever. But it's not just that, right? It's not just money to people. It's community, it's belief, it's belonging, it's wanting to make a difference, right? People become involved in these communities for nuanced reasons that may have to do with tragedies that took place in their own families, or may have to do with, nothing to do with their own family tragedies all, but just that they have, kind and generous hearts, right? And then difficult research, Kresha says, weaponized. Exactly. And then their kind and generous hearts and their sincere desire to help and to be connected and to feel interconnected and to be part of a community and to, are weaponized against them. And then they stand to lose all of that with the threats of the server's going down. Oh no, right? So oh my God, the servers, it's $5,000 a month. It's $300 a month. It's $800 a month. It's $1,500 a month. Whatever amount she needs, and to her, yeah. She doesn't feel the same way we feel, because if she did, she wouldn't be able to do these things. And also, I'm sure she tells herself, again, she finds ways to justify it. It's because she needs it. It's because she was just trying to survive. Right? That's who Trisha is. And her phone number in big font there is because she wants people to contact her. She wants her tentacles out there where she can draw people in to her and take their money. It's an ugly, ugly business. And I think that, June, I'm sorry for you that you have gone through this business of being discarded by Trisha just recently. It's just painful. I have been there. But I think it's, it's instructive for a lot of us about exactly why this is so bad, how this hurts people, right? It's not just $5. Right? It's people's sense of safety and trust and community in the world that they live in, right? It's their sense of their own ability to read and understand a situation and have agency within that situation to, to cause, to make better outcomes, right? And literally these people are being swindled so that Trisha can get Dairy Queen. It's very disillusioning, right? It's very disillusioning. And I think, as I say, for most of us, we're here for community, so we can understand what that feels like. But the cost is huge, right? The cost is not just to Sue Pruitt and Helen Ross and Beth B and Mr. H and CR, right? The cost is to the entire community, right? Who are believing in this lie and propping it up. So I am running out of liquids and I am feeling very thirsty. So as always, I have been very much enjoyed. Olop is on YouTube. Yes, go check out Olop, Junebug. You cannot miss. It's youtube.com/@the-olop. So Suma, thank you so much for sending me over the Sarah documents. Tomorrow night I'm going to do a Sarah Boone, the Boone Times. She's got we have a new letter to the judge and we have a new phone call. So those are fun things to look forward to. Thank you, everybody, for coming. I had a blast, as usual. Smash the like button on the way out. I would be very grateful if you would do that. And go over and check out Jay, because we want to be all caught up on what's happened with Christina. So yeah. Another successful and fun gathering. So I will love you and leave you until next time, and have a wonderful evening. Bye-bye.